Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by GhostBed.com. Yes, Jabes. We are live from the defunded Austin, Texas.
They defunded?
Well, they defunded the police here, so I'm sure that'll work out.
Sure.
I'm sure it's all fine.
Sure, it always does.
You know what's funny? So I did a show, Drinkin Bros, with Dan. That's out today. That kind of talked about like my depression. I guess I would call it some form of depression, with not being able to trust like the mainstream media anymore.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on. I feel a little better about it today.
What do you mean?
I feel a little bit better about it today. Everything that I was reading and seeing, like, it is so slanted now, right? Towards this narrative of getting rid of Trump and everything else. Mm-hmm. That initially, when I saw these fake polls and everything was coming out, like, I felt worried. Where I was like, oh, man, maybe it's just me. You know, like, do you feel that way when you're looking at the news? Because I asked this question of Dan on yesterday's Drinkin Bros episode. Like, do you think about, like, maybe you're the one that's crazy?
No.
You don't? Okay.
No.
Great. I was starting to, which is why I asked Dan. I said, hey, man, let's do this show together. Because it helps to talk about it out loud, where it's like, man, every single article I read now I distrust. And, you know, not to go too far conspiracy tinfoil hat guy, but like the more and more you start to distrust what you read and see every day, the more and more you feel like either A, you're going insane, or B, you've got to find some other news outlet where somebody shares the same beliefs as you, which is why I obviously think podcasts are growing and everything becomes bigger and bigger and bigger.
Right.
And then it also makes you look at like Alex Jones and people like that, where you're just like, oh, well, maybe they're not as crazy as I thought they were, and maybe I'm the fucking idiot.
Well, I am, as you know, not a news believer.
Right.
But I am a government truster. So, in that way,
yeah.
Interesting point. So, Tim Dillon was talking a couple shows ago about something. I'll expand on it for myself. He was talking about in the year 2000, how we were just a lot more socially stable and just a lot more socially stable as a nation, right? Mm-hmm. We just kind of were able to deal with stuff like Y2K, for example. The way that we handled that back then versus what that would have turned into now, right? So like back then we all were like, well, you know, it's crazy, let's party. But we kind of all knew in the back of our heads that they'd work it out. Like, the whole world's not going to fucking be destroyed, right? I mean, they'll scare us. They won't tell us what's going on, whatever. But we all just kind of partied. And we were like, well, you know.
Sure.
It'll either work or it doesn't, right?
Sure.
That was kind of the idea. If that same thing had happened now, the divisiveness, the blaming, the not believing, the conspiracy stuff, the making it political, who's doing this, that's the difference. Right?
Right.
Whereas I try and cut through the bullshit and just be like, what is it that's happening and what do I trust will eventually work out? And what do I think is going to be different forever? Right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can do now. I'm trying to handle it more the way that I handled things in 2000, right? Which was like, this is crazy and fucking weird and I have no idea what's going to happen. But like, it's going to work out, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know if it is going to work out. Like, as far as everything else that's going on in the world, like I look at all the cities that all this is happening to, like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles. There was a huge article in San Francisco today about the housing market there. How like you couldn't find a place to rent there, and it was like now everything is for sale or for rent and everything else, and like that's exactly what's happening in Los Angeles. They just defunded the police here in Austin. I can promise you in downtown Austin that's gonna be the same as well. But I don't know. I mean, last night I was up. The reason why I bring this up, last night late I was up and Burbank was trending. Right, obviously. Spent a lot of time in Los Angeles, and I was like, whoa, what happened in Burbank? By the way, if you're watching on YouTube right now, hammer the like button. Got to beat this algorithm, kids. When I saw Burbank trending and I clicked it on, it was definitely not what I had thought. So there was a series of prominent celebrities that had a picture of mailboxes. There was 4 outside blue USPS mailboxes that were locked from the front, right? And they were like, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. Look at what Trump's doing. He's banning the vote. He's locking mailboxes. I can't believe this would happen in my lifetime. Oh, why? Lived there for a very long time, close to 18 years. They lock the mailboxes at night because people steal shit out of them. Therefore, there's been locks on those mailboxes for years. How are you just noticing it now?
Right.
If you go to the back of the mailbox and you still want to mail something, there's a little slot in the back where you can put your mail in over the weekends and you're still all good. But this picture went viral immediately. Oh my God, he's stopping us from voting. We can't. Oh, why? I'm tired of hearing about this USPS thing of like Trump's trying to defund the USPS and all that other shit. Like, look, here's the facts on the USPS. It has been goddamn near bankrupt for years and years and years, right? I am pissed off when I have to go to the mailbox to get a piece of mail these days. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
Everything should be digital at this point.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What are we getting out of there?
When I look over at the stack of papers, and I'm like, why is that a
thing?
Like, those same people are sending me emails.
Yep.
That it's already taken out of my account or whatever. Like,
correct.
Whatever.
Yeah. Why is that a thing anymore? Now, if you're trying to send your gam something or whatever, like,
sure.
Absolutely. How often does that happen now? Never. Once, twice a year do I get something from Gams, and that's about it. The rest of the shit is, Amazon boxes or whatever. Here's what I would say. Amazon is not paying any taxes anyways. Neither is Facebook or Apple or anybody else in the United States. Make Amazon ship their own shit. That's what I'd do. Hey, man, great. We're going to stop using the USPS workers and make Amazon send their own shit. The other thing about it is with this, the mail-in ballots and all that other stuff. If you could go out into the streets to protest, you can go out on November 3rd and vote in person. There should be nothing stopping you, especially in Los Angeles and Burbank. The outcry last night over these fucking mailboxes was like, bro, you guys had no problems going out in the street and protesting. Go and vote on November 3rd. If it's that big of a deal to you, go and vote on November 3rd. You saw how fucked up the post office is for the checks. And that was when we were getting money. People were like, where's my money? Where's my Trump dollars? Where's that money from the government? I need it. I need it to live. You depended on USPS, and then you were pissed off because it was, 6 weeks late? Imagine a vote now of like, hey, it's in 60 days. We're about 70 days out. The Democratic National Convention, virtually, hard air quotes there, is starting tonight. Do you think the USPS could magically turn around the fucking mail-in system this quickly? Not a goddamn prayer. And if you're tired of people stealing shit out of your mailboxes, don't defund the fucking police. Maybe there'd be more fucking police around so your mail wouldn't get stolen. You fucking idiots. That whole goddamn state to me can burn to the ground now. Minus your family, obviously. I want them to get out safely, but...
they won't ever get out.
No.
They're one of those.
I know. I know.
They're one of those. That was another thing Rob Lowe was talking about. Like, LA is going to fall into the ocean. Like,
yeah,
a large parts of it absolutely are.
One day. There'll
definitely
be an
where
earthquake
he's
that'll
at,
just nuke out everything. Yes.
where all those mudslides
Yes.
were, like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you thought, hey man, like earthquakes and mudslides, that's not enough.
That's awful.
You know what you can add to that list after this weekend? A fire NATO. Greatest thing I've ever seen, by the way. Starting to feel like a zombie apocalypse film where it's just like, all right, we saw the homelessness and all that shit in LA, talked about that. No need to talk about it anymore, right? Mm-hmm. But the fire NATO was the new one. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of wildfires again, kind of, it's about 65 miles north of Los Angeles right now. There was a tornado of wind that got caught up in the fires, creating a fire NATO, a fire tornado. If you haven't seen the pictures of this over the weekend, it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Look, we'll be back in a studio here in about 10 days, so we'll be able to pop up pictures and all that shit. But when I saw this, I was like, peak 2020.
Right.
And then I realized after that, I'm going to stop saying that for the rest of the year. I'm going to stop saying it until we should do a show all the way up until midnight, 11:59 on December 31st, because I have a feeling now after everything that we've seen, it's not going to end until that very second it just switches over to 2021. Mm-hmm. It's not going to at all. And now they've got the rolling blackouts on top of it. So you and I had talked about this on our show, I think 2 years ago. It's been a while. Mm-hmm. With the rolling blackouts. So I was in that. And I was trying to think what date it was. Luckily, Twitter reminded you of like, man, I haven't been in rolling blackouts since 2001. And I was like, shit, that's right. They're having this crazy heat wave in California. So for the last 2 days, they've had to lock off the power grids and just do rolling blackouts. So what happens during that is they just shut off all your power for 4 to 6 hours. Mm-hmm. In grids, in blocks. And that's what's going on now in Los Angeles. People are freaking the fuck out. Congratulations. The power department or utility, they're out of money too. So it's like, kind of left with no choice now, but to do rolling blackouts. The head of the immigration system for California she wrote on her Twitter feed, she was like, I can't sleep. I've got two twin daughters that are up until 2 a.m. We're just rolling around in heat, sleeping on the bottom floor now because it's cooler and the rolling blackouts are happening. It's like, man, congratulations. That's going to keep on going. Yeah. It's going to keep on trucking. If you didn't think a fire tornado was enough, let's add some rolling blackouts to it.
Yeah.
Put them on in, Javes. Put them on in. But now, after all of this, by the way, after all of the shit, once I'm really digging into some of these stories now, I feel a little bit better. I was panicked about the press. Now I'm not anymore because now I know it's all a fucking lie. I know you're not a big sports, obviously, but I do want to talk about this because this is a big story. With the Big Ten, they're not playing, obviously, and we found out that the commissioner's kid over the weekend is a running back for Mississippi State, which is in the SEC, and they are playing. So the pandemic is crazy enough where you have to shut your own conference down, but your kid that's a running back for another school, like, totally fine with that. Kid hasn't been pulled off the team, nothing. And as you dug a little further, this guy was just named commissioner, and he did an interview with Yahoo Sports about 6 or 7 months ago, and was really against the president, wants everybody to go out and vote. Same Taylor Swift bullshit, right? Where it's just uninformed opinions, and you should go do this because it's bad, and everybody's bad. Now this motherfucker's in on it. So now I think, and I didn't think this before, I think the shutdown of that is purely political. Mm-hmm. But I think that'll backfire. People in the state of Ohio and Michigan love football more than life itself. You know why? Because it's gray and the weather is pretty goddamn miserable there about 300 days out of the year. Therefore, they have nothing else to live for but football. You rip this one thing away, that'll flip those states real quick. So I have a feeling Big Ten football might be back real soon. Once you see the politics of this, that it's flipped over the weekend where it's like, hey man, we're all tired of the bullshit. Like, we know why you did this. Now they're digging up this guy's entire past, and I think they're going to reverse it. I think they're going to reverse this. And I think a lot of people are now realizing, oh shit, the things we're doing to slant an election is starting to backfire. CNN, of all goddamn places, in bright red, finally released a thing of like, we think the polls are closer than what we've been reporting. Last night they did that. And I was like, I'm gonna breeze on into this article, really crack it on open. What do you think? It's the night before the convention and you're releasing this article. Why? And it turns out there are polls where Biden was up by 15. Apparently the lead is now shrunk to 4, according to CNN.
Okay.
Why? What happened? What happened in the world that really shrunk it on down to that number? Or was it all a lie from the very beginning? You know?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you think it would help you to lie about polls, lie about all the shit that's going on. Because truthfully, it would make people more complacent and not being able to...
Is it a lie?
Yes.
How do you know?
I get the general
feeling that you have?
sense, yes. The same one I had in 2016, where, and not to pat my own self on the back yet again, because my arm is sore, but I was one of the only people who called that election. I called every single state except for Pennsylvania. It's what caused Drinkin Bros podcast to blow up. Everybody went back to that episode after the sex one. You're welcome. It's all right because Jessie edited it, so we're fine. To go back and say, hey man, holy fuck, why? And I just used common sense. But towards the end of that one, it was getting towards the end. I looked around the rallies. We don't have that advantage this year, and I think that's why things are a little off for me personally, where I don't have the advantage of going to the rallies or going to see where the excitement is, because everybody's kind of stuck inside. Like even here, it's not fully open, right? North Carolina isn't fully open. There isn't any rallies or any things that you can go to where people are excited about shit. That's why I'm real curious about tonight. I'm gonna flip it on and watch. You know, same with whatever Democrats are. I think Michelle Obama's speaking tonight. I just want to see what this setup is. I'm curious to see what the ratings are, and if people actually give a shit about this new world that we're living in as far as like campaigning and everything else. But I think I'm starting to settle in of like, all right, no, man, the more and more people that I talk to, I think people are tired of the shit and I feel a little better about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just do. It's a general sense of talking to people out in public where I have had the advantage of at least going out to fucking chat with people and shit like that. Because obviously the pandemic means nothing to me, but, the more and more people I talk to, like I get this sense where they're just like, man, I am fucking all done with this shit. And I think it's going to translate in November. So my mood has changed regarding this.
Okay.
A lot. And just what people really care about in the world. Because all the people like Taylor Swift and all that bullshit of like, oh my God, I guess this is crazy. We got to jump out of there. This is fucking nuts. Really don't give a shit about that. They just want to fucking party, like you said. Like the Y2K, they just want to fucking party. I looked at the stats this morning for a Billboard. Did you know the Wet Ass Pussy song by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion? Number 2 of all time weekly sales.
Yeah.
All time. Do you know who's number 1? I had to look and I was like, oh, what is it? What would be your guess?
Of number 1?
Of all time, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Pick like a big song. What do you think was like a big song?
Old Town Road?
Yeah, close, right? That's
Right.
what I would have thought. I would have thought maybe Old Town Road, the Billy Ray Cyrus version, right? Or I was thinking maybe Whitney Houston or Adele. And
of all time.
of all time, yeah. And it was Adele. It was Hello.
Okay.
So you have Hello, which is one of the most iconic songs of all time. Number 1. Most downloaded song in a week. And then Wet Ass Pussy by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. So I think we're going to be all right.
Right. Well, it's exactly what I've been saying for a while, so I'm glad you're finally thinking about it in that same way.
Yeah.
Because it's how I've been talking about it for weeks.
It is. But the problem is, like, and not to fucking be a dick, but like I read more and I watch more news. After doing all of these shows, we do topical shows and current events and all that other stuff. So like I read everything, and it's probably a detriment in a time like this. Because you and I are people that like to go out and talk to other people, very social. You're one of the most social people I've ever met. And your ability to go and make friends is amazing. Like it's everywhere you go, you are beloved. And I know, yes, beloved. And I know people say it all the time on the show of like, we love Jessie, we love Jabes. Anybody who's met you in real life, it's the same, where it's like everybody loves Jessie everywhere we go, and it's great. It makes my life a shitload easier, because when we go to new situations, like new neighborhoods or whatever, I can count on you to make all the friends and like the appointments and reservations,
Fill up
parties.
the social calendar.
Correct, because you know I'm not doing it.
No.
At all.
No.
But I work 9,000 hours, and it's like, hey man, there's always shit to do. Even tonight, I got to do the last fucking edit on this goddamn book, even though the audiobook is done, son. And it sucks. Like I get fucking 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, but you're out there, you're able to make friends. You're able to make sure our kids are playing with other kids and having fun and all that other shit. Me, I'm reading the news, and I'm stuck in this thing, and I don't have anyone else to chat with about it. I have, though, over the last couple days, and I'm like, all right, I think the tide is turning. In 2016, I knew, just from going to those rallies, where I was like, oh shit. Same way as I knew in 2008 with Obama in LA. I was like, when I was at those rallies, I was like, oh shit, I see it happening.
Right.
And you don't get to see it this time. I think the ratings you'll be able to see, but even that, it'll probably be slanted, right? They'll probably stick it on like ESPN 8, the Republican convention, and then, you know, the Democratic convention tonight will probably be on every single primetime network. Oh my gosh. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm coming around to it, Jabes. I'm coming around.
Just focusing on the things like this mailbox story, like it's a fun story to talk about, but it doesn't matter, right? Like it's just focusing on
but here's the thing, it wouldn't matter if it was true.
Focusing on the things that you can wrap your head around, focusing on the things that really affect you, right?
Yes, but here's the thing, it would affect me if it was true. And that was the scary part about it. So when I read it, I was like, man, my first glance at it, because there was a guy that I trust on Twitter that it was like just a comedian, or he does like
is that
normal
really
viral
happening?
videos.
Like in your mind, is it really happening that they're going to start locking mailboxes? Like
No. But
So
when
it's
enough
like,
people are reporting it and talking about it, then you're like, well, shit, maybe it is. So when you flip it open, you know, and you see a picture, right? And it's one of our thumbnail pictures where it's like, oh shit, maybe this is really happening.
I don't go to anything that's like hysteria invoking, right? So I don't go down those roads where people are hysterical about stuff, because 9 times out of 10, that means it's just not, it was designed for that, and the people are taking the bait, right? These hysterical people. There's nothing that's happening, even right now, that we can get hysterical about. We can be pissed, inconvenienced, protest, hate this, need, you know, the economy, awful. The kids Zoom thing is something that's really affecting me right now, where it's like I can't be in 2 places at one time. And I don't see a world where people can do this. Like I am lucky enough to have someone help me. And even that is hard as shit, right?
Yeah.
So how is it even possible? How is this even possible?
So let me ask you.
I can't wrap my head around that.
This was one of the biggest stories of the day as well.
Right.
And that there was a huge article about it this morning. Typically, we'll write out like topics and things to talk about. This isn't on there, so I'm just going to ask you off the cuff. Because parents are in today's article are complaining that they have to hire either a full-time nanny or a full-time teacher.
Yes.
And first of all, they don't know how to pay for it.
No.
Second of all, like that person is in your house or on your existence, and then your kids learn for how long a day are they on the Zoom?
From I think it's like 9 to or 8:30 to like 3.
They're on Zoom in a classroom?
Not on Zoom. You're just doing the activities and doing Zoom calls in between.
Okay. How long do the Zoom calls last?
15, 30 minutes.
And that's it. So they just entrust you to do all of this?
Yeah. And there's like 50 different apps with a different login and password for each. So even though there's a landing page with all of these apps, you go to the one that you need, and you then need your password and whatever, which is some crazy like student code, that thing. And like, it's not all the same. And I don't know how it's going to work. So like forefront of my mind, that's what's going on. But there's nothing that's happening. It's very stressful. It's like nerve wracking. It's really, really hard, but there's nothing that's like hysterical about it, right? It's just a calm stress where it's like, this fucking sucks. But again, with the mask and stuff, where I say a million times, like, we've lost that fight. That is out of my mind now, because that fight that I had in me, and I was fighting it to the very fucking end, wearing no mask. Anytime there was a chance for me not to, I was not, right? That was my like protest of like, I'm just not going to do this. I'm going to pretend it's not happening.
Yeah.
Fighting against it in that way. The fight on that is over. Okay. So that stress can be taken off your table, because there's literally nothing you can do about it. If you want to go into a grocery store, you have to wear the fucking mask. That's it. Done. We're done bitching and protesting about that. That fight is lost. And if you think that that is going to change at all before the election, you're fucking out of your mind. So settle in and fucking let's make this work, right? Done. That's over. Then you move on to the next thing. That's like, it's not hysterical, right? Oh, can you believe it?
This school
That's
thing,
just not.
But here's the thing. This school thing would make me hysterical if I was a mother.
Again, it's not hysterical. It's figuring out how the fuck to take care of it, being really fucking pissed off, but there's no other option. Correct? There's no other option. They've given us no other option. Thankfully for us. My friends back home, Brooke, what's up, girl? They're going until January.
Yeah. I would have held my kids out of school.
Zoom until January. Thankfully, we're able to, in Texas, thank God, we're able to actually go back full time in 3 weeks, right? So I just need to like hunker down, get through this, figure out how to do it. There are facilities. I don't know if anybody knows about this, but there are places like drop-in daycares that are doing Zoom classes. They're like 10, 20 people, but like if you're at the end of your rope, if you can't have people come to your house, if whatever, you can drop them off at these places. You know, it's $10 an hour, which is actually less than a nanny. So look at those kind of places. They're drop-in daycares, and they're around everyone. There's at least one. I'm out in the fucking country, and there's one. Do you know what I mean? But it's that kind of stuff that, again, not hysterical about it, but it's pretty fucking difficult, and it will take you to the end of where your nerves can go, right?
Yeah.
To that very last point, like on the airplane when you're like about to stand up and fucking freak out because you've been on the tarmac for 3 hours. That's right when the plane starts moving, right? Right at the very fucking end of when you're about to lose your fucking mind. So I believe it will take me there, but hysterics, what is that going to do for me, right? What is tweeting about these mailboxes and fucking, oh my God, like, it does nothing, you guys. Like, nothing that we've done as far as protesting or being crazy and fighting with people in Costco about wearing a mask, nothing has worked. Nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. Nothing.
So in that sense, the hysteria is not hurting or helping anyone. It's only hurting yourself, right? So that's it. That's where I'm at, right?
Yeah, but like you take today, right?
Sure.
And this is just something honest for the audience. You were about 45 minutes late today. I didn't know why, and it turned out you were telling me because you had to fill out all this paperwork and all this bullshit for schools and everything else, right?
Yeah.
You're just one mom. Okay. Now I'm assuming that every mom across the country is probably going through the same thing.
They were maybe a little bit more prepared than I am, just in general.
But how do you do it with parents working?
Right. Exactly.
We're a household where both of us work.
Right.
And trying to make that all work with kids is hard. Now,
Right.
luckily, you get to go home after this, right?
I have one more show, but yeah.
Yeah. Which is not here, right?
No, it's here. I mean, I'm just not going to be on video.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'll be here.
But
Yeah, I do a lot of shows a week.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you deal with all of this shit? Let alone, let's say you're a single mom out there. How do you deal with all this shit?
Yeah.
Because school should be back in right now. Mm-hmm. Typically, tomorrow is the first day.
Yeah.
For everybody to go back to school and all that other shit. But yeah, I don't, because I don't know what the drop off thing is either. So, all right, great, man. If you're not going to have kids in class, but you're going to have drop off daycares open, what's the fucking difference?
Right.
As far as the coronavirus is concerned.
It's because they're private, right? So private schools, they're fully going. If you want to pay,
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with this stuff, right? Like there's private schools, there's private daycares, there's private all kinds of stuff.
Are you saying if you're rich, you can beat the coronavirus?
I'm saying if you're rich, you don't have to deal with the stresses of the real world. You just don't, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's possible. Again, thankfully, I can afford, and it's very lucky, and I don't know, we'll see after.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily I can afford and found a place that can help me with it. But I don't see how this works. I don't see how it works.
I don't either.
Again,
you know who can afford it today?
who?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, what happened with
Ryan
him?
Reynolds. Again, a lot of last minute flurry of stories here before we started. And I was like, God damn it. That gin company.
Yeah.
That aviation gin.
Did he sell it?
Sold it to the same company that bought Casamigos, which was George Clooney's tequila company. If you don't remember that, George Clooney sold that company for $3 billion.
Billion.
He had two other partners, Randy Gerber and somebody else, and they each got $1 billion apiece. Ryan Reynolds has had this gin company for 2 years.
I'm going to just tip my hat 1 second to him for that Peloton girl commercial. Mm-hmm. The timing, the everything of that was quintessence.
Yes.
Ryan Reynolds. And what?
Look, here's the thing. I like gin.
Right.
It's okay. Gin is a summertime drink of like, oh, hey, I'm having G&Ts at the beach, you know, in Myrtle or fucking Hilton Head or wherever you are, Long Beach Island, New Jersey. Wherever you are, I'm having some G&Ts, right? You know?
You didn't name one like really nice place. It was all like dirty bird.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reason I'm doing that.
Sure.
Because you're a fucking dirtbag. If you're drinking gin straight up, like you're a dirtbag. Either you're making a martini out of it, right? Which is rare. It's still rare.
A gin martini is a classy drink.
It is.
You're not a dirtbag.
It is. But you're drinking that at a bar. You're not making that at your house of like, oh, hey, here's fucking gin. Gin is the last thing at a party. You ever at a house party at the end of the night and you're like, man, I could use one more drink. And then the only 2 bottles left are a full bottle of gin and a full bottle of tequila because nobody's drinking that shit.
And vermouth, which is what I did one night, which was like got drunk off of vermouth, which is a hard thing to do, guys. That alcohol content is real low. But if you do drink enough of it, you'll be good to go.
It's like digging up all the resin out of your bowl and then smoking the resin after that just to get high. Therefore, there is no reason a gin company should sell for $610 million. That is 2 years old. I never, like, as much marketing as they've done with the gin and the Peloton thing, it's great. Have you shown up to one person's house and they're like, hey, man, got you some gin.
No,
got you some aviation gin.
No, but I will say that any of these, and we're now in the land of the, hipster drink place.
Yeah.
Right? The many hipster drink places where it takes 30 minutes to make the drink.
You
and
bet.
And you light a little thing on fire
Yeah.
and you're like 2 sips and it's gone because the ice cube is as big as the fucking glass in there.
Exactly.
And they only put like one shot in. Anyways.
They'll light this wispy
all
baby
of
hair on
those-
fire and put that in there.
Yes. The essence of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I will say all of those have gin. So a lot of those, the
do.
base is
Yep.
gin, right? So
Yep.
if he is giving, if there's some kind of deal to bars or if that's their well or their like second shelf or something like, look, it's something. It's not nothing.
It is. But when I read how the deal came together, it wasn't like Ryan Reynolds had this lifelong affinity for gin. Look, The Rock is doing it now with his bullshit tequila company. And it pisses me off just the same way, right? The Rock. Every fucking thing he does now is Terramana. Terramana. You know what would go great with this? Oh, it's my cheat day. I'm going to have vanilla ice cream and Terramana.
Right.
Infused fucking bullshit on there. No, you're not. You don't fucking drink. The Rock doesn't fucking drink. You can't drink that much and do that many steroids. You don't drink. It's a power play. You're going to sell that company for $1 gajillion, and that's fine. But Jesus Christ, man. Like, for real, for the last year, I'm a serious tequila drinker now. Oh, are you? Because you've never drank in a day in your fucking life. But now, oh, man, it's big business. So when Ryan Reynolds' deal came together this morning, they had said that William Morris, which was his agency, partnered him up with a liquor company to sell Celebrity Wise and do
great.
all this shit. It is great if you're able to do that.
It is great. And look, when you sell your company for
Gin.
billion, I would hate to hear someone saying bad things about you.
No, I wouldn't. If I never drank and I'm like, that'd be like me trying to sell you fucking cocaine that doesn't get you high, you know?
Right.
Oh, hey.
I will say, back on this cheat day, I had a cheat day yesterday and gained 7 pounds. So, it is not possible to do. Do you know what I mean? And The Rock, The Rock maybe could have a cheat day. I cannot. I'm not on steroids. I'm not on any of that stuff.
No.
I'm not on the Whitney Cummings NAD injections. But
What the fuck is that?
it's this new fucking thing, dude.
What is
All
it?
the motherfuckers are doing it.
What
It's
is
like
it?
youth juice. You get youth juice injected. I don't know,
Do you know
what
what that
it
is,
is.
Giorgio?
No, but I knew she was injecting something.
Yeah, NAD injections and speed and stuff. Yeah, and throwing up.
What?
And throwing up.
Keep it together.
She's just trying to keep it together. She's having a real hard time right now. But
I could tell you why, but
yeah, because we all are, right? It's like, do whatever you got to do. Legal
No.
speed, throw up, inject yourself with youth juice. I mean, thank you. I would be there if that's all I needed to worry about. I just need to make sure my kids are fucking get through school. Otherwise, I would be really focusing on me.
boy.
Craig Dulesky wants to know, what's your favorite gin? I think I might know.
Yes, go ahead.
Beefeater?
Beefeater, correct.
Yeah, it's a family thing. Your
Correct.
dad likes it too. Anyway,
And here's the thing. So, because somebody wrote on here, Kevin Balderos, he wrote on here, dude, what about dirty martinis and shit like that? Yes. But I only make those at a restaurant. You start making those at your house on a nightly basis, like you get some fucking problems.
I don't know. That's very classy. But again, where
In
am
the
I keeping?
1960s, if you're gonna smoke a pack of Winstons and have a dirty martini after work, like
Dude, I do like someone that makes
It's
a
pretty
martini
intense.
at their house.
I
I have
do
to
too.
say.
I do too.
It's very classy.
On
There's
a rare,
this.
it's usually on rare occasions. It's not every goddamn night.
Oh, but what a dream.
Gin every night.
Well, that's what I'm going to
Fuck.
do on the second half, right? Probably not gin, but the second half is going to be like making martinis.
Straight up hard alcohol every day
Yeah.
is really fucking harsh on your system. Like,
Fair.
For real. And look, no one loves to party more than I do. Clearly.
Everyone knows that.
But I have a fucking thing where it's just like, man, I'll put it this way. We've lived here, 2 months now? I don't even know where the liquor store is. I haven't even been.
Oh.
You
I
know?
have. Yeah, I have.
Like, oh,
bird-
you know where it is?
Oh, yeah, I bird dogged that thing
Would you-
right away.
What'd you get?
I didn't get anything, but I know where it is. I know that it's open. I know their hours.
Gotcha.
I know the address. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I know where it is.
Yeah.
if there's some kind of party happening and I need to hit the grocery store, liquor store, you know what I mean?
So for me,
Cupcake shop.
here's the deal.
Skull and Cake Bones.
Yes, Skull and Cake Bones. What up?
What up?
For me, it's this weird fucking cake store here that we're
I laugh
obsessed
every time I pass it, and I can't wait to get a cake from Skull and Cake Bones.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Yeah.
It gets me every time. Any business that's named like a fun little play on any kind of...
I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan. It's not usually... Yeah.
There was a place in New Jersey, this coffee shop called How You Brewin'.
How You Brewin', that was a great one.
Big fan.
There's
fan of that name.
Nothing Bunt Cakes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing Bunt Cakes. That's a great
Hair
one.
salons are
Hair
big ones.
salons
They
are a
always have
good
names
one.
for them. But anyways,
Curl Up and Die.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen those a lot.
Hot Root.
Yeah. But back to the fucking gin thing real quick
Sure.
here.
Sorry, I hate to talk about fun things. Go on.
No. It's a
I
fun
know.
thing.
Let's get serious.
But having gin every night
Let's
is
get
too intense.
serious.
How are you going to have gin every night? You can't drink.
Oh, okay. Now you want to fight. All right. Now you want to fight. I can't drink
You're a
gin.
2-glass of red wine girl.
I am.
I'm going to drink gin.
No, I'm not. But it's aspirational, right? Just like anything that in marketing, in life that I get sold or that people get sold, it's all aspirational. You're going to think, oh, I'm going to start doing this, right? You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a martini gal.
Yeah.
So you buy your one bottle. That's all Ryan Reynolds needs, right? Is just one person to think that maybe they're going to start to be a gin gal.
Do you think he even drinks? He was the first one juicing for Blade Trinity, by the way. Dead serious.
I don't know. I think that those people, I see people like that, Jennifer Lopez, Blake Lively.
She doesn't fucking drink.
Him,
Jennifer Lopez
exactly.
doesn't do
Like
anything.
these very successful people that, look great all the fucking time. Like they in real life are quite boring, right?
Yeah.
That's
they're
the
all fucking
answer.
boring.
That's the letting you behind the curtain answer to all of this. Like
You and I had this conversation on Saturday night. We had date night.
Yeah.
We were talking about I was actually talking about how much I loved you because I was like, look, there is nobody in the past that was that fucking interesting to me that I was just like, no matter who it was I've dated or blah, 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 right?
Right.
And it is true. And all of these people that you see, because chances are I've worked with them at one point or another, are boring as shit in real life where you're like, man, I would never hang with those people. I could name the cool ones on one hand.
right.
One hand that I've worked with where I was
I
like,
forget-
that is totally genuine who it is.
We were talking about someone specific. Like people are always like, well, because I don't think guys and girls can be friends.
Yeah.
I
which
just
is
don't
true.
think they
I agree
can,
with
right?
you.
So when
Yeah.
you're like, oh, that's my friend, I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
Is it your friend? Did you try and date? It didn't work out.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
And there was one that you were like, I was like, oh, what about this one? And you're like, oh, it just something like the timing wasn't, the answer was not good, right? Which started us on this conversation where you're like, either the timing wasn't right or
Oh,
no,
no,
she
no.
would have never went for me. Something where it was like,
She was one of
listen,
the
but
cool ones though.
right.
We can say who it is. I don't give a shit.
Anyways, Desi?
No, it was Olivia Munn is what we were talking about.
Was Olivia Munn or
Yeah.
Desi?
And I was like, look, no, I was like,
Okay.
Olivia Munn, hands down. Like, you would have gone. Like, if you're at home and you're like, dude, is Olivia Munn hot and cool and
Right.
fun? Blast, all of it, yes. When we did this thing together for Funny or Die, and
I think you said I tried or something. I'm like, what about
well, no,
Olivia
she
Munn?
had a
You're like, I
boyfriend.
tried.
She always had a serious boyfriend.
That was your answer.
correct. And I was just like,
That was the answer.
but for Olivia Munn, yes. That's one of 5 out there. So if you're out there and you're like, who is it? Who was one of the 5? Olivia Munn's. She was one of them. 100%. But what you see, like all the funny, hilarious shit, yes, that's her. Now on the Ryan Reynolds thing,
And she's still single. Why?
well, when you date a gay man who's a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers for that long, you think you can turn a gay man? Have you been in a relationship where you thought you could turn a gay man?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you've-
I'm not attracted to any bit of
But we've all had friends.
femininity in
We've all
any
had friends.
way.
Or you show up at a dinner party where you're like, hey, man, your husband's gay. That's a homosexual
yeah,
man
yeah,
you're
yeah,
with.
yeah.
Not
For
that
sure,
there's
for
anything
sure.
wrong with that, but you know
No.
that, right?
No. Yeah. Actually, no. I dated one French guy one time. That might have been.
Might have
but
been gay?
it could have been French because, the
Yeah,
French
French
are
are gay.
notoriously just
Is it European or gay
feminine,
is a thing, yeah.
skinny, and just like
Yeah.
very dainty.
Yep. Yeah. So I worked with somebody who was married, full-on relationship.
yes,
Two
yes.
people in my life I've worked with for long periods of time. One was for a year and a half. One was for many years. And I knew they were gay men,
Right.
married and miserable with their lives.
Sure.
I knew it. I knew that was what was going down. But they both instances, by the way, the wives thought that maybe it was a phase or they could change them or whatever. No, they never changed. Hence, with the Olivia Munn sitch and Aaron Rodgers, she's not changing that. You're not changing. Something
Right.
else is wrong with Aaron Rodgers, you know?
I mean, I'd venture to say something else is wrong with Olivia Munn, but I know you love her, so I'm not going to say any more
Well, here's the thing.
about
I
your
don't know
girlfriend.
her-
But
I don't know her
I think there's something else
past
there.
a few workday sitch, right?
Right.
I don't know. There could be a box of crazy at home. Now, there's some other
Sure.
people that maybe perhaps we've named on this show. I can tell you they're fucking crazy, and that's why they've got their own shit going on.
Sure.
Maybe one of them today was mentioned. It's fucking crazy, and it's just they've got their own personal shit going on, right?
Right.
But for the most part, most of them are fucking boring. I'm assuming Ryan Reynolds is probably pretty fucking boring, by the way.
Yeah. That was the point of that. Is like,
Yeah, he's not drinking gin.
He's not drinking gin. He's not going out and blowing it out. It's like working out, working on social media, meetings with his friends, sleep very early, not a lot of alcohol.
He's got writers for social media, by the way.
Yeah.
If you ever wonder why he's got a great...
Smart.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
What did somebody
Whoever
say?
runs
He's
his
not
Twitter
gay.
account-
He's just from France. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Same with Atlanta. I'm not gay. I'm just
That's
from Atlanta.
what they were playing
Ooh,
on.
I'm
Yeah,
just from
AJ is
Atlanta.
from Atlanta, Craig said.
Yeah.
AJ Gamble's from
Goddamn right,
Atlanta.
I'm from Atlanta.
He's from
I'm not gay, I'm just from
Atlanta.
Atlanta. But yeah, fuck, man. I don't know. The one thing I will say about Ryan Reynolds is this, to cap this off. I'm just glad that he's embraced Van Wilder and just decided to ride that out. Because there was a lot of years where he was trying to be a serious actor and the whole fucking shit, right?
Sure.
And then once he just started being Van Wilder again, which is exactly what Deadpool is, and I hate to fucking ruin it for everybody else, right?
Yeah.
If you watch Deadpool, it's just Van Wilder. That's all
Right.
it is in a costume.
Right.
You know? Do you even have to wear that if you're just doing a voiceover when you're
That's what
inside a costume?
I don't think that's him.
I remember Ed Norton on
It's not
the
him, is
Hulk,
it?
on the Incredible Hulk. Did you know that Ed Norton only worked 8 days on set? The rest of it was voiceover of like, oh, I'm a fucking CGI Grain Man.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wonder about Deadpool. Like, he's only going in for
Yeah.
voiceover and when the mask is off.
Yeah. And I liked, so we, our child likes to watch those Thursday night game nights, which are great, by the way. Better than actual sports that are going on right now.
Holy Moly is awesome.
Yeah. The other one, which is
Don't,
Ryan Reynolds'
funny,
show
yeah.
where he does the voiceovers and shit. Like, it's just
very
Van Wilder.
Ryan
It's
Reynolds.
great.
It's funny,
It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just didn't embrace that for years. What the other shit was about. It's always strange to me. Be
Look.
who you were meant to be. You know who the best at being who they were meant to be was
Uh-huh.
in this life was probably Bruce Willis. Nobody enjoyed being Bruce Willis more than Bruce Willis.
Oof.
You know?
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
always funny, affable. I believe that he could fucking knock you out in a bar.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And when he was like ahead of the actors being in bands trend,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Where he was like in a band, and, like I think probably played bass or just sang. I think he just sang in the
Yeah.
band, right? Kind of very Keanu Reeves, Kevin Costner route, right?
And I remember when Kevin Smith did that movie with him, that cop movie, the buddy cop movie with him and like Tracy Morgan. Kevin Smith had a fucking problem with him, and I guess Bruce Willis was like, "Look, I'll just kick the shit out of you on set." I could totally see that. Like,
Love that.
It's Bruce Willis, bro.
I love
And
that.
Kevin Smith told this story about what an asshole Bruce Willis was. But that's exactly what I expected about Bruce Willis. Like,
I do miss the days when like your actors,
Yeah.
actresses could be like crazy, fun, mess. They would get into fights and shit. Now it's Ryan Reynolds and Jennifer Lopez where it's like They're just fucking boring.
It's a machine.
They're
Rock.
machines. They're
It's a fucking
robots.
machine,
They're
yeah.
unattainable bullshit.
Yeah.
They're trying to act like they have fun all the time, and they absolutely do not.
Miserable. Look at the Rock schedule. That Rock Clock app. Have fun with his life, and let me know if that's a blast.
Yeah.
Let me know when
Let me know how
Terramana
fun.
time is scheduled in there for his tequila drinking all day long.
Right. Let me know how fun it is to hang out with someone like that.
Yeah.
That needs to be in bed, propped up on all their pillows at 7:30.
Yep.
Completely asleep, right?
Crack of
no
shit.
alcohol
No.
ever. One cup of oatmeal in the morning.
Crock
You know what I
of
mean?
shit is what I'm saying. Same with fucking celebrities drinking liquor. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not, dude. Tequila. I'll tell you what. Clooney was actually drinking his shit. He drinks.
Yeah, I
fun.
think yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but he's old school. Like he is.
Yes.
He's an old school actor.
That was
he
the
harkens
last of
back
it, by the
to
way.
like
That Rat Pack, the new one with
Sure.
Brad Pitt and those guys. That was the
Right.
last of it. Now it's all.
But they've also moved into that world too, where like Brad Pitt's fucking sober
yeah.
now, and like boring. And Bradley Cooper could not be more boring.
Yeah.
Could not be a more boring person. That when you see them, you're like, man, like fucking A Star Is Born. You're like, that guy is so fucking cool, dude. I
Yeah.
bet he drinks whiskey and just like hangs out. Like,
Nope.
not a prayer. Like, they're corporations now.
Yeah.
They're all LLCs and corporations, and they have to follow strict rules in order to keep their job, because the days of like you being rumored to have a coke addiction and like going out one night and partying and beating your girlfriend up a little bit, those days are gone.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see.
Tell me something, girl. Nope, he's not cool. You want
No,
to
he's
party
not
with
cool.
Bradley Cooper.
He's not cool.
You're gonna have some form of vegan meal, no drinks.
Yep.
And you can tell the waiter to not even bring
He'll
over
have
that
a
bread
model
basket.
with him too that's so fucking boring. Like you won't get along with her. Do you know what I mean? I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, great. Be like, do you want to split some nachos, bitch? And she'll be like, what?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, God damn it.
Yep. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it, James. Happy birthday to Ben Affleck, by the way.
Oh, really?
You know I love
Leo season.
Affleck.
We're in Leo
I don't
season.
even know what that means, but
Buddy, get with the
Affleck.
times. Get with
Proud
the
of
times.
you. It appears his girlfriend bought him a new motorcycle, and the two of them are out for a little jaunt. And
fun.
yeah, one of those old timey ones,
Just trying to catch one real smile in his
one
life.
of those Indian givers. What are they called? Motorcycles? The Indian.
It's the Indians, yeah.
What's it called? Somebody in the
there's
comments will know. Giorgio, you motorcycle guy? Not a prayer.
There's an Indian, the motorcycle.
Yeah, but it's something Indian something, The old Indian givers, what I'll call it.
Okay. Anyways,
idea what that-
yeah, he's just trying to catch like 5 minutes of joy in his life
Yeah.
because he has none.
And he was doing it there. I finally saw a
Did
look
he
of
smile
happiness.
a little
yeah,
bit?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
on lots of drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Legal now.
Legal, but-
prescribed.
it was fun to see. It was fun to see for
Was it?
just
Was
one
it
moment.
sad?
Ben Affleck having fun. Yeah.
Makes me sad. Yeah. It makes me sad to see someone that was just so fun, crazy partier.
Yeah.
Just fucking on a
Good on the
motorcycle,
tubes.
just trying to fucking catch a smile. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just chasing one genuine smile all day. It's sad to see.
It is sad to see.
Sad to see.
You know what's happy to see is a ghost bed mattress in front of your house from ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. You and I just started rapping today.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to
We're going to have to keep going.
Indian
Shades.
motorcycle. Dum dum.
Just an Indian?
Yes.
Indian scouts, somebody's saying maybe? Who knows? Who knows? Ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Finest mattresses in the land. If you're a member of the military, a first responder, a teacher, or a government worker, you're getting 30% off everything in the entire store. Crazy. If you're a regular civilian like myself, 25% off. And if you order a mattress, you get 2 free pillows. As always, they got a 36-month pay-as-you-go program at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. And all of those deals you can bundle together and then boom, put it on the no interest program for 36 months. You're good to go. Sleep in comfort. Fucking 3 years, dude. That's it. We're the shit. That's like $30 a month for the best fucking mattresses on the planet. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com, Jabes.
Boom, 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 boom. Shablon.
Oh, you okay, Jabes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Terramana.
The
Really
what?
killing
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Rock tequila. Mm-hmm. Strike Force Energy is the greatest. I've got some in here right now. I put it in the little Croy. Oof, deadly combo. StrikeForceEnergy.com. It's got the finest energy pouches. They're the only energy pouches in the land, to be honest with you. Last longer than 5-hour energy.
Your energy pouch, huh?
Yeah. You got to put a little energy
You got a full
pouch.
energy pouch
Yeah.
right now.
You got to put a little in my pouch.
Ah!
Yeah, nice, isn't it? 4 amazing flavors: grape, original, lemon, and orange. Rip it open and squeeze it into any liquid available. No carbs, no sugars, no gluten. If you're worried about that, whatever the fuck that is. Again, man, that's the only thing that keeps me rocking all day long. So go to StrikeForceEnergy.com today. Promo code Revolution, 20% off. They ship everywhere in the entire world. On the same boxes you see at 7-Eleven, it's the same. They ship to your house. So you're fucking rocking it. I saw the oldest woman in the world last night. Turned 116 years old.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sad.
Do you want to live to be that long?
Nope.
Nope. Me neither. Knowing what you know now or what's going on now,
No.
I think I'd walk right out into the COVID.
You think?
Yeah. At 116?
Yeah. Oh.
That's too much.
But you're not walking anyway, are you?
I'd wheel myself right to downtown LA, right to Skid Row, and just catch some good old fashioned COVID and call it a life.
Yeah.
Call it a life.
I never.
Yeah.
Never.
No.
How long do I want to live? Let's say maybe by that time there may be some kind of pill, some kind of magic pill, more NAD injections, some fucking boy juice I can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put into my blood stream. And so maybe 85?
I can tell you this.
90?
Mine, because I'm 32 right now, if this goes on for another year,
Sure.
I'll be 33, you can call it, and I'll be fine with life. I don't want to go through this shit that we're currently going through for another fucking year.
Right.
You can go ahead and take my life away. If I have to go through this for another fucking year with
Go
dealing
through
with
what?
people, the mask and all the bullshits,
Oh,
like
calm down.
Nope, not going to.
Calm
Went
down.
to a gym for the first time in like a month, right? Since this move, living out of suitcases. You know, I had to wear a fucking mask through the entire workout.
Yep. Because that's what it is.
Shouldn't
I did
be.
know that. I did know that.
You did.
Yeah, I did because that's
So-
the way this fucking shit works, bro.
No, I'm gonna turn it back now.
Oh.
To North Carolina.
Sure.
My mama, mi madre, talked to her last night. Her gym is open. No mask.
Right.
You don't have to wear a mask there.
Right.
You wear a mask in, you take it off, put it in your pocket, work out, and then wear a mask on the way out. I felt like I was going to fucking die in that mask.
Right.
I'm just breathing in my own shit, heavy breathing on it or
Yeah.
whatever. I was like, this can't be the way. This can't be life anymore.
Right.
So if this goes on for another year, go ahead. I'll walk out into the COVID.
Okay.
I'll be playing Hello by Adele, the #1 song in the world.
Yeah.
Most downloaded female artist song
Right.
of all time.
Right.
And just go walk right on out in that wave of COVID, you know?
Okay. I mean, that's a
that'll be it.
lot. It's a bit much.
Not really.
It's what I was sort of talking about in the beginning, as far as just hysterics.
Oh, no. This isn't hysterics. This is
This
just
is a calm suicide?
It is. It's just a choice of living a certain way. And it's like, I don't really want to live like that anymore.
Okay. I mean,
You know?
right.
I'll walk right out into the COVID. I wish it was like I will rent a fog machine full of COVID, like LA. Just go to a prop department in LA and just be like, hey man, go get all those fog machines and put some COVID in there. I want to see it just flood my whole shit. You know,
Right.
Even though I'm
right.
not of the age to die from it, like whatever is out there. So I'm sure it'll be something next year. Some spider dick will be injected into people, you know, from an air conditioning or something weird will happen next year. And if that's the case and we're all masked up and doing the shit, you can just go ahead and end it.
Right.
Because the more and more the shit goes on, the more and more ridiculous it is. Disney, fucking Disney, the app for kids. cartoons for kids. What they're celebrating today was that they had their first bisexual lead character in a child's cartoon.
Okay.
Apparently that was not represented enough.
No, I don't think so at all.
Nah. Do you know you're bisexual as a kid?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Real strange, right?
Yeah.
So when I read it, they were like, "Oh my God, isn't this great? This is the first
Are they like teenagers?
thing." It's fucking cartoon people. They
Yeah,
look like
I
two little
guess they're
kids.
not real.
Yeah.
Okay.
14.
14. All right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
the character is 14 years old.
I think you do know.
At 14?
Yeah, from what
If
I've
you're bi?
heard. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. You don't say.
When's the first time you knew you were attracted to girls?
When I put a dick in my mouth. Nope. Oh, okay.
12, 13, 14.
No.
Younger?
Yeah, dude, like kindergarten.
Okay.
I was one of the first people to
Well, then
invite girls to like a
Some would
a birthday
argue
party.
that if you're gay, you would know then that you're attracted to boys, right?
No, because I didn't know. I didn't really know what the fuck. I didn't know anything of the fuck that was going on.
Okay, well then I mean actually attracted to where you're like, oh, you see them in that different way, right? Like before you see them for like, oh shit, those boobs are like, I like that, right?
Right.
Before that, you're just kind of like, oh, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do and having friends and I'm like inviting girls over and this is like
Sure.
what cool guys do and this is what I see in movies or whatever. But that shift, which usually happens like middle school, right? Where you start to be like, oh, or sixth grade where you start to like notice people in a sexual way. I
Right.
think it's 12, 13, 14
Okay.
from what I've heard.
So you think Disney
be
got it
even.
right then?
I mean, yeah, right? Like if somebody, there's plenty of 14-year-olds that are
Okay.
dealing with their sexuality, right?
So-
and the point of that is to see someone in a Disney movie that you can be like, oh, okay, it's okay for me to think this.
Yeah. Of
right,
course.
right, right?
Of course.
Yeah, it's not hurting anybody.
My question though is in a cartoon,
Okay,
because we've all seen cartoons
sure.
for Disney Plus.
Right.
On Disney Plus. When would that come up in a conversation?
Right.
Hey, what'd you have for lunch today? Nothing. Can I see your tit? What? Why, Sarah? Because
Right.
I'm bisexual.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's not going to be that, but like, I don't know. Yeah. Thankfully, you did not write for this show, but
Well, how would you write that in?
we know how you would have written it in.
I would look at the executives and be like, all right, cool. It's fine if you want to make a cartoon character bi, but how do you introduce that into a cartoon?
I don't know. I don't know what the cartoon is about. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the cartoon is about. I don't know if they're falling in love with someone or they have a crush on someone or I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, let's see. It says
What is it saying?
It's a CNN article. It says diversity
Sure.
is making its way into Disney.
And look, I'm playing devil's. Okay, so it's like two
Wait,
girls.
wait, hang on. I'm going to read this headline to you on CNN. Okay.
Okay.
Disney confirms its first bisexual lead character, who is also multicultural.
The
What?
14-year-old Dominican American girl, Luz Nocita.
Big. It's your Spanish heritage.
I
You're
know
able
it's coming
to-
through. It's coming through. It's not Disney's first LGBTQ plus character. Pixar featured a gay main character in a short film on Disney Plus, but
Okay.
Luz is the first bisexual character to make a Disney debut.
Sure. So
yeah.
So it's going to be the series is called The Owl House. It follows Luz's adventures to becoming a witch, even though
Okay.
she doesn't have any magical abilities.
Okay.
Why is that important to be bisexual as a witch?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you work that into a storyline?
Sure.
Again, not that I'm a best-selling
Look,
author. or
if
anything,
anyone
but
is seeing this picture, though,
I
if you
am.
pull up the article, it's a very low-budge commercial cartoon that probably no one will see.
it's
so
on Disney.
It is on Disney,
Yeah.
but very low quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the writer said she identifies as bisexual. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know that it's necessary to say that I identify with it. You can just say I am bisexual, right? Why do you have to say you identify with it?
Oh, what? The character...
No, the writer.
Oh, the writer
Yeah.
identifies
Wouldn't you
as...
just say you are? Hey, man, I'm bisexual. Not that I identify with it. Like,
Hey,
identify kind of means like,
Hey, man.
I'd like to try a dick. That'd be like me peeking over at Giorgio going, I'd put his dick in my mouth.
Calm down, because that's sexual harassment.
Sure.
So
we don't have an HR department here, so it doesn't matter. Bro.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to get one. We're going to have to get one if you keep talking about Giorgio's dick, okay?
But it says here that she identifies as bisexual. Again, if you are one, just say you are. Say it with pride. That's what Pride Month is all about, is being proud of yourself and all your decisions in your life.
If you are one.
If you are one, if you're a bisexual, just go ahead and say it. You don't have to say I identify with it.
Right.
You just say I'm a fucking bisexual, dude.
Right.
If you're gay.
Hey, man.
I'm bi.
Hey, man, I'm bi.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's party.
Yeah.
I'm bi.
Yep.
Let's flip it, dude.
Yep.
Let's fucking Cardi B this shit.
The frat guys telling you how to come out, guys.
Yeah, dude. Just say I'm bi. Who
Hey,
cares,
man, I'm bi.
Yeah. I remember there was a dude.
Sup, I'm bi, bro.
There was a dude.
Who's your team?
There was a dude in my fraternity who was gay and he never told anybody.
Sure.
And I saw him at this buddy of mine went to get Coke one night. I'm going to say who that was. Walked into this house and it was full of gay dudes, shirtless, sweating, dancing their ass off, having the fucking greatest house party I've ever seen.
Sure.
And he was there in the middle of it, sweating, getting licked by another dude. And he froze. And I was like, shit. I didn't know you were gay.
Right.
Well, fucking A, that's cool. And it was like, oh, you don't care? I was like, no, I don't fucking care, dude.
Right.
You don't have to say I identify with it. Say I'm fucking gay. Be proud of it.
Well.
Either way. The writer says she identifies as bisexual, so she wanted to write about a bisexual character. So she pushed Disney to allow this character to happen. Luckily, my stubbornness paid off.
Right.
And now I'm very supported by Disney leadership. It's not really true. Disney just doesn't have a choice anymore. Neither does any other network or studio to listen to all of this stupid shit and write in a 14-year-old witch character that is a cartoon that will somehow have some bisexual relationship on screen with another cartoon. Here's the thing, newsflash, just for cartoons out there. You can't have any sexual shit in there.
Right.
Can't. It's got to be rated G. Right. Therefore, two chicks just can't make out in the middle of a fucking cartoon. It's not part of the rating system.
I think they can make out.
Not two girls. Can't do it.
Why?
I don't know. It's part of the ratings.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So part of the MPAA ratings is if there is some form of different thing, they have to give that a different rating. Therefore, the Elton John thing, for example. There was that sex scene in there, which I didn't think was that bad. It was hilarious. I'd never seen two dudes mish before like that.
Sure.
And nothing makes me laugh harder than a male gay sex scene, and I love them all the time. But when I saw it, I was like, that need the R for that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it was two dudes, I guess so. Because if that was a chick and a dude?
No, there was other stuff that was R.
What else?
That would make it R.
Did you catch a ball in there?
No, just like language, I think, and drug use, and
all right.
Yeah.
But those are all stipulations in there, so.
Right. I think a sex scene is a sex scene, right? And I think the ratings are any nudity.
Sure.
Any sexual activity, right? It doesn't stipulate in the ratings whether the sexual activity is between two girls, two guys, whatever.
Ah, fuck. Look at this. They added a plus to it. LGBTQ plus now.
Yeah.
That's because that's just going to keep going, right? So they finally just capped it at that.
Yeah.
And put a plus on the end of it.
Yeah, because there's just a lot.
That was necessary.
More, yeah.
It was just a lot of letters at that point.
A lot of letters and a lot of different variations, A
lot of consonants. Yeah, and again, I'm looking at the Owl House right now. Real curious how they're going to fit that in. Right. I'll give it a Peaksies, I'll give the Owl House a Peaksies now that chick is bi.
Will you? I don't know. Look, it's fine. I'm probably not going to watch it, but I don't need to.
I'll give it a.
Right?
I'm just curious
If I was
as a writer.
confused kid, maybe I would. But
Maybe
I
guess as a
don't
writer,
need
I'm
to.
just trying to curious how they jam that into a storyline and make it seem natural, into a kid's cartoon.
Right.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one. But I guess, look, if The Rock is out drinking tequila every day, you can be shredded, and that's all possible too, right?
Sure.
And through Christ, anything is possible.
Absolutely.
Jesse will tell you that every single day.
I'll tell you every single day.
And according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad,
Sure.
we can all be our true selves if we really just look at the stars. I have no idea what that religion is, but it sounded good coming out of my mouth.
Right.
So, Jabes, tonight's DNC, are you going to watch any of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how your feelings were.
About what?
If you got down like that.
Got down like what?
Where you're like, all right, cool, I want to check out all these speakers and all this shit. Or if you're just like, dude, I'm all done with this.
No, I'll check out stuff like that.
Okay.
I am continuing to be informed. I just will not go down any hysterical rabbit holes with anyone. CNN, Fox, you, no one.
Sure.
But I will watch things to stay informed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I get down like that, if you will.
Okay. Oh, we'll check it out, Because last night during Yellowstone, you said, I'm out of here.
Yeah, well, I smoked too much weed.
And it was, you deuced it, dude. You were like, I'm good tonight.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Yellowstone
Hasn't been great this year.
I hate to say, it's just not really. It's very Costner heavy.
We're caught up now. And I want to say this because we were holding off our opinion. Yellowstone is not very good this season. And I don't know how many times you can have the same storyline of they're trying to take our land.
Right. Or like the same storyline of like, the Cole Hauser and Crazy Chick. It's like, okay,
Right.
it's okay. But like, do I want them to get married? No, I
Yes.
want them to have crazy sex and fucking fight. And I want her to get drunk and smoke cigarettes all over the place naked. That's what I wanted. Now we're starting to settle down. A lot of Costner.
Yeah.
Heavy Costner.
Yep.
A lot of that Indian chick.
A lot of 1,000-yard stares and long sips of coffee.
A lot of wolves and teepees. You know what I mean? A lot of
Yeah.
wolves and tents.
Yep.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean.
Which you know why, right?
What?
Dances with Wolves, James. Come on, we're going full circle now, Costner. Come on, man.
Really?
Sometimes, Jesse, it's like I don't even know you. It's like I don't even know who you are. But yeah, we just can't get
What
down
is
on
it?
Yellowstone
Yes.
this season. Hopefully it ends with a bang. Obviously there's going to be a marriage, like a wedding and all of that.
Yeah, it'll be a
shit.
Cole Hauser Crazy Chick wedding. It'll be super fucking normal, and she'll be like nice. When I don't know when that fucking happened. Like,
I leaned over to you last night and I was like, what would be hilarious is if they did sell their land and then you just saw them in like Vegas at the Cosmo, like, normal
yeah,
partying,
it's the only way.
not wearing like cool shit. Like they're all wearing dorky ass shit from the gift shop at the Cosmo, or the
be great.
Bellagio.
It'd be great.
It'd be really fun. Something's got to kick this season into gear. I always root for a death, and it's usually the Indian girl or their kid.
The way that they're going now, it's got to be a twin. Like a twin comes and like somebody's adopted, and I don't know. At this
Somebody
point,
was
it's a
adopted last
little soap. There's a little soap opera ish to it. And now that is always what happens to a show when it like does well. They have to really
Yeah.
keep you going. But
I need to see a good old-fashioned wooden dummy like Timmy from Passions, the soap opera. And if there's anyone out there who catches that reference, congratulations.
congratulations.
You're a real hombre with me. Jabes,
Yeah, buddy.
look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Really doing it these days,
Thanks.
Kids, we'll be back in the studio here soon. They're building it now. We're getting designs as we speak. I would say 10 days we'll be up and running, fully operational in the studio, and we'll be able to throw shit back up on the screen and kind of chit chat about what's going on. Right now, I'm a gigantic man in a tiny chair, and I can't really find the people that are commenting and shit like that on YouTube. But I know you're out there, and I know that we're grateful for you watching every day. We'll be with you.
Be with you tomorrow.
Be with you tomorrow, and we'll be back in the studio soon. Jabes for Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables. I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.